everyone, my name is Catherine and I am the farm coordinator here at the North Grove, and today I want to show you some soon-to-be butterflies that we have on the farm. So these butterflies that we have are painted lady butterflies. These are actually in their caterpillar form. They will soon be moving into their chrysalis form and then eventually hatching into adult butterflies. So painted lady butterflies are very common. They're one of the most common butterfly species across the world. You can find them on every continent except for Antarctica. They will migrate from northern parts of North America all the way down to Mexico, but they kind of do it they call it an erratic migration because they don't really pick a time of year to do it. Nobody can really work out quite why they do it, but they'll migrate, and some of them will travel hundreds of thousands of kilometers each. And they are really great pollinators. When we think about pollinators in a garden, we're often thinking about bumblebees. That's usually what people are thinking of, but butterflies are also incredible pollinators. And so that is part of why we are raising them here at the North Grove, is to help us pollinate our garden. These butterflies, they will drink the nectar of almost any flower. They especially like thistles though. So maybe we'll leave some thistle beads to flower for them. And they also will eat not only nectar, but they'll also eat something called honeydew, which is actually a substance that aphids produce. Aphids, which, you know, if you're a gardener, that's some alarm bells ringing. Aphids are not very nice for your tomatoes, but they produce this kind of sticky substance that actually can be eaten by the painted lady butterflies. The other interesting thing about these guys is that when they're in their caterpillar form, they actually spin little nests for themselves out of silk. So they spin little silk nests for themselves to help protect them against predators. They will use that to camouflage themselves so that they're not getting eaten by birds. And that's one of the distinct things about the painted lady butterflies. In their caterpillar form, they'll turn into butterflies that are, a couple inches long, bright orange and with a little bit of brown on them. The other thing that they do, which is so smart, is since the butterflies will eat the nectar of almost any plant, some plants are a little bit poisonous, but that doesn't bother them. What they actually do is they will take in the nectar from the plant and take those poisons and store them in their body to deter things like birds from eating them. Which is, I think, a pretty special thing, as they make themselves poisonous, so they're a little bit less appealing. So I want to tell you a bit about the butterflies, the caterpillars that we have here. So they sort of came in these little condiment cups, and they have some food with them, and these little balls are actually their poop. That's what their poop looks like when they're eating this sort of hardened honey substance. Part of my job as farm coordinator is to clean out the poop from the caterpillars every other day. These little black pieces are actually parts of them that they've shed as they've gotten bigger. They were, about this big when they arrived, and they've gotten quite a bit bigger. So from here, what they will do is probably in a few days, they might start forming a chrysalis. Using that kind of webbing that they make, they'll form a little shell around themselves. It'll take a few days to harden, and then what I'll do is I will take them and I'll hang them up in their cage here. Inside the chrysalises, they will form into butterflies. So the caterpillars actually go an entire metamorphosis where they turn into like a goo type substance, and then they reform into butterflies, and then they hatch out of their cocoons. And then when they're adults, they might take a little while before their wings are dry, and then they're able to fly away and start eating nectar and laying eggs for the next life cycle. The whole cycle from when they're caterpillars to when they're adults is about 2 to 3 weeks. I'm hoping that in future we might even be able to find some butterfly eggs and raise them from eggs all the way to adult butterflies. But we thought this year, let's just start with some caterpillars and see how we go.